How did it feel yesterday to kind of get the rust off a little bit?
I felt good. Obviously, just very hard to maintain basketball shape when you're not playing it. So just got to knock the rust off a little bit. But it felt good to be out there with my guys. Felt like I played pretty well under minutes restriction and whatnot. So obviously nice to end it off with a win too.
What was the minutes restriction, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm actually not too sure about that. It's supposed to be like 20 minutes or something like that. But it's going to continue to go up, continue to feel well.
Yeah.
And pretty sure, soon I won't have one, but just all in precaution to stay healthy.
And, of course, you guys have had some really good games and then some not so great games, especially giving up some double-digit leads in the second half. So for you, what do you diagnose as the issue for why those leads kind of evaporate?
Just getting too comfortable and thinking that just because we have the lead, teams are going to lay down. And just trying not to have that mentality and just trying to stay in attack mode and close out games, really, and as they continue to get stops on defensive end. That's really it. We're going to score, I feel like, on almost anyone, but got to get stops.
At what point does it, I guess, start to concern you guys that it's been talked about a lot, but it's kind of not being put into practice?
I'm sorry?
At what point does it start to concern you guys that you guys talk about not giving up those double-digit leads, but then it's not, the actions aren't lining up, if you will?
It's just hard. Basketball, it's a hard game. You know what I mean? These guys are pros. Everybody here are pros for a reason. So it's easy to talk about it and say it, but going out there and executing it is just another thing. It's really just trying to hold everybody accountable. It's nothing that we can harp over or be upset about. Spill milk. Just gotta clean it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And continue to, like I said, just hold each other accountable and do our best to win. Because I feel like winning solves everything, cures all.
For sure. And now having two in a row, how do you guys kind of build off of that going forward?
We try to analyze, both the positive and the negatives, and I obviously understand, as I always say, understand the negatives. Don't let them, linger, but try to just get better from those. And I feel like we can start there, as well as just use that home energy we have. I think we're home for like around 9 days, so try to soak all that home energy up and use the crowd and whatnot, and just really try to lock in on being home and protecting home court.
Nate said part of you starting at the 5 last night was the fact of he wanted you to go straight from warming up to getting into the game rather than coming off the bench or something like that. Do you kind of follow that thought process? How did you feel about playing the 5 and then especially coming back from injury, going straight from warm-ups to being in the game?
Yeah, playing the 5 for me is normal. I played a lot of 5 throughout my basketball career. Just not in the league. I feel like I'm more of a natural 4, but nothing for me to play 5. And I felt like I did a good job. And obviously coming back without too much on court work is it's not easy. But I feel like I did a good job of keeping myself strong, in the weight room and when I could get on the court, of trying to just make sure my body felt good. So tough, but part of being a pro. And I feel like on this team, coach, he wants me out there for a bevy of reasons, so I just got to stay ready.
Conditioning-wise, with that being your first game back, how did you feel, lungs-wise, and just, everyone says you can't really know what it feels like until you're at game speed coming back from an injury. So how was that aspect of things?
I felt exactly like how I thought it was going to. The first couple minutes were really tough. Then I, blew it out a little bit, got my second win, and it was a lot easier to just run around and be active and be me. But those first couple minutes are the worst, really. But just continues to get better from there, and the more games I have, the more I'll be back in shape and ready to go. So it takes a little second.
You weren't there for the last time you guys faced Chicago. How do you see that matchup with you being involved with that, but also the possibility of Clint not being able to go and maybe you have to guard a guy like Vucevic or something like that?
No, it is what it is. I'm ready for, whatever, whoever may be 4 or 5. I switch 5, so, ready for Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan as well. So, as I said, I don't really keep that mentality of whoever it is. They got to guard me too. They got to, play me too. So I just know it's a 48-minute game, and I'll be ready, whether if it's Vooch or Pat Williams, whoever it is, I'll be ready to go.
You guys are getting closer to having everybody back, and this will be like the first time that this roster has been fully healthy, knock on wood. But how much will that kind of help build that chemistry that will help you guys settle on an identity?
Yeah, it's great. We've been wanting that, needing that all year to have a full group of guys healthy and ready to go. As was our intention and our plans to have a healthy team, and with Bogey back and CC coming back whenever he does come back, it'll be great just to feel what the entire team feels like, what it was meant to feel like, and I think the energy and the vibe of the team will just boost a little bit just from us being at full strength. So I think we should take advantage of that and will.
You're a big wrestling fan, and you.
I was.
Yeah,
I still am,
yeah,
but
yeah.
at heart.
Yeah. And you met with Big E yesterday pregame. What was that like for you? And you guys are both from Florida, so you had that.
Yeah, it was super cool. I was telling them about watching my other favorite older wrestlers, Bobby Lashley, Booker T, Washington, Mark Henry, and I'm like, Kofi Kingston, and he does tag team wrestling with Kofi Kingston. So I know people probably like, what is he talking about? Who is he talking about? But he's just really cool, again, for us to meet a black African-American wrestler. It's just super cool, and Florida guy. So, I didn't get a chance to really chat, but as we did chop it up, it was cool to meet a WWE superstar, another one, and then he was hyping us up during the game and stuff. So always cool, fun experience for me. Wish I could have met him maybe when I was way younger. I feel like I would have been way more excited, but it's another WWE superstar I can knock off my belt of meeting and having a chance to interact with. So it's dope.
I want to take you just real quick back to a team thing. We were talking to Nate earlier today about his style of communication and him talking about the fact he's from a different generation, that sort of thing. How do you look at, and how do you feel Nate McMillans' communication to you guys comes across? And have you seen any change in that as he's been the leader, the head coach of this team for the last couple of years?
Yeah, I'd say if anything, it's cool. He's a big 3 C's guy. He's cool and calm how he communicates with us. He understands what he wants to say, and Nate's a great explainer and does a good job of explaining what he wants, his theories and ideas. So I wouldn't say there's too much of a change in how he's doing it, just more so of a reaction to what's going on with the team, right? And he's not 100% similar to every way he approaches us, but he does what he needs to do at certain times, switches his energy, his voice up, his mentality, whatever. But we respect Coach Mack a lot, and just ready for him to continue to lead us.
Thank you.